Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. Now, there's something that is going on that everyone is watching. That's World Cup. There's something about World Cup, and there's something that World Cup is exposing. World Cup is exposing something called black excellence. Majority of the winning teams, majority of the groups of people that are playing football that every team or every European team is having is black. And this didn't start even with World Cup. I mean, we have been seeing this happening for a long time. But there is one lesson that every other group of people are learning. See, World Cup is acting as an eye-opener, telling people that, black people exist. No matter how many times you try to tell black people, go back to your country, when it reaches to some things, you cannot do it for yourself. You need black folks. So, there's something that we are seeing white people starting to recognize. They're recognizing that there is so many times and in many ways that black Americans, that black people, that Africans, that African, the general sphere of African, general sphere of black people, we are so blessed. We are so talented. We are so endowed with all these skills that these other group of people are always trying to ask themselves, how did black people become so much sportier? How did black people become so much athletic, like naturally? Is it the food that they eat, or like what's really happening? Brothers and sisters, in this video, you are also going to see some black Americans, fellow black Americans, African Americans, brothers and sisters, the entire black majority of us are confessing that they were whitewashed or they were brainwashed to believe that they can never be part of being black people. So this is what it means. It means that people didn't know that there is so much potential that black people have. And indeed, in a times where so many misunderstanding happens, especially between black Americans and Africans, there is one thing that reminds us that we are one people. And that's things like sports, because it exposes that we have so many similarities than the differences. I mean, tell me what you think about this, right? As you know, in as much as we are having different cultures, we come from different places, and know that we share so many similarities than the differences. So brothers and sisters, let us watch the video. I'll be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. Let's get into it.
If you ever thought you were a minority, just watch the World Cup. It don't matter what team you watch, you finna watch black excellence. Because apparently, we're the global majority.
The ironic part is racist people who are sitting down and supporting the USA team in the World Cup are basically supporting black excellence, because black people are dominating the World Cup in European teams, in American teams, all over the world. There's black players everywhere. You love black people.
A lot of people are shocked that a black man was the first one to score for the Mexican team during the FIFA World Cup opening game. But did you know that Mexico has a huge Afro-Mexican population?
White conservatives are terrified of POC outnumbering us, and I truly believe this is the motivation behind a lot of hateful policies in the US. If you haven't heard of the Great Replacement Theory, it is that over time, if enough black and brown immigrants come to the US, as well as white people having children with POC, then over time POC will outnumber white people.
We outnumber you a minimum of 11 to 1. That's the reality. But you think that you are a majority because you've convinced yourself of your white supremacy. And because you currently control the news media and you currently control various strategic regions in geopolitics, you push yourself into the center of everybody's business and you convince yourself that you are so numerous and you're so powerful.
Okay, I was watching Switzerland. I said, how'd they get all those black players? They didn't even colonize anybody. That's just where the colonizer parked their money. But then I watched Qatar get washed by Canada. Most of Canada's team was black. I know I ain't the only one. I said, how many people did Harriet Tubman take up there? But then I looked again, and half of Qatar's team was black. Apparently gold ain't the only thing that the UAE and Qatar are taking from Sudan. Too much? Sorry, there are a lot of Afro-Qataris there because of the East African slave trade from the 17th to the 19th centuries.
And black people, we are no longer referring to ourselves as minorities. I've been to most continents on this planet, and we are on every corner of the earth. There is nothing minor about black people.
White people are the only group of people who will label you the aggressor because you refuse to let them disrespect you.
Not black people, you are universal people. You're not just black in America. The whole planet is black. It's 4,400,000,000 original people. It's only 400 million Caucasians on the entire planet.
One of the biggest tools the white supremacists use to control the general population is jealousy. Not just fear of minorities, but fear of minorities being more successful than you as a white person.
We're like used to talking about, we know that like black people are better at sports, or black people are better at basketball and football. It's kind of a joke. But I would say that it's not that simple. We're excellent at everything. Basketball is just the only thing they couldn't stop us from doing by keeping us out of schools, keeping us out of neighborhoods, keeping us out of hospitals. They couldn't legislate it away from us. You can take a ball and hoop anywhere. You can express yourself and sing a song anywhere. That's why we dominate the arts, because they couldn't police the arts and keep us away from it. We get one generation of access, and we're the CEO of Amex, or we're running a country. Nobody played tennis, and then two girls from Compton decided to play tennis, and they're the best that have ever touched a racket. Nobody play golf. Black people don't play no golf. And then one guy was like, you know what? Let me try this. Best that has ever touched on the planet. So it's just access.
White folks, you gotta change. Because within 30 years, you will be a numerical minority in the United States of America. And you had better pray to whoever you pray to or for, that people of color are not going to get even with us and treat us the way we have treated them. If you can't think of any other reason for treating people like equal human beings, think of that one. Because what you do today is creating the future. I don't think you want the kind of future that you have provided for people in the present. I may be mistaken. You may not know what's going on. You know what's going on. And if I asked you, if every white person in this room who wants to be treated the way we have treated people of color in this country, if you'd like to be treated that way, all you white folks, if you want that for the rest of your life, please stand. Did you understand the directions? If you're white, and you think blacks have got it so good in this country, and you want to be treated the way they have been for the rest of your life, just stand up. You know why you aren't standing. You know it's ugly, and you know it's happening, and you know you don't want it to happen to you. So I want to know why you're so willing to allow it for others in this post-racial society.
If you ever thought you were a minority, just watch the World Cup. It don't matter what team you watch, you finna watch black excellence. Because apparently, we're the global majority. Okay, I was watching Switzerland. I said, how'd they get all those black players? They didn't even colonize anybody. That's just where the colonizers parked their money. But then I watched Qatar get washed by Canada. Most of Canada's team was black. I know I ain't the only one. I said, how many people did Harriet Tubman take up there? But then I looked again, and half of Qatar's team was black. Apparently gold ain't the only thing that the UAE and Qatar are taking from Sudan. Too much? Sorry, there are a lot of Afro-Qataris there because of the East African slave trade from the 17th to the 19th centuries. Back to the World Cup. In typical colonial fashion, the players are black, but the coaches are white. Even the African teams, South Africa, Congo, Ghana. You know, white people get so uncomfortable when we're in charge. I mean, that's why the FBI had an entire room for the city of Compton when it became the first city west of the Mississippi with a black mayor. It's also the reason that the CIA assassinated Patrice Lumumba, the leader of Congo, staged a coup d'etat of Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana, and provided intelligence that led to the jailing of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Too much? For some reason, the West believes that the people who built their empires need overseers. That's the only reason I feel some type of way about the white coaches. I think this is the perfect moment to say, this is the real map of the world. This is the size of Africa. This is the map that the African Union is finally campaigning for. The one with the real measurements. Because in European maps, Greenland and Africa are the same size. But Africa is 14 times larger in real life. Look, we have never been a minority. There is nothing about us that is small. We are the cradle of civilization. And everything comes from us, including these whoopings on the soccer field.
Black and ethnic minorities, despite the fact that you like to refer to us as minorities, we are not a minority. We are the majority on the planet. And we outnumber Caucasians, who are a very small minority on the planet. We outnumber you a minimum of 11 to 1. That's the reality. But you think that you are a majority because you've convinced yourself of your white supremacy. And because you currently control the news media, and you currently control various strategic regions in geopolitics, you push yourself into the center of everybody's business, and you convince yourself that you are so numerous and you're so powerful and you're all consuming on the planet. But I have to say to you, this is just a myth. You are the minority on the planet. The black man is the majority. And if we thought like you, as I said before, you wouldn't be here.
Yo, I swear, watching the World Cup is like watching live action colonialism. For example, the France-Senegal team yesterday had black people from the continent playing black people from the diaspora. And that's not a coincidence. Like, a lot of people on the French team are descendants of people from former French colonies. And then people on the Senegal team are African players who spend the rest of the year playing in European clubs. Meaning that both teams were produced by the same colonial history, just by different routes. One through migration from the colonies into France, and the other from the movement of African talent into European soccer. So even though the talent on both sides is coming from Africa and its diaspora, all of the wealth, the money, the powerful leagues, they're all still concentrated in Europe. That's why watching these games deadass feels like a hands-on history lesson, because the colonial relationship never disappeared, it just reorganized itself, and we can see this shit play out on the field.
Right, racists, let's talk.
Let's talk.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. A majority of white people wish that they were black. They wish that they had the ability to create or invent. They wish that they had the ability to wear a variety of hairstyles. They wish that they had the ability to dance. They wish that they had original fashion. They wish that their style was memorable. They wish that they were able to turn heads in public. They wish that they could spend more than 2 hours in the sun. They wish to be desired. They wish that they could smell as good as black people. They wish that they were as superior as black people. They wish that they were as athletic as black people. Even wish that they were indigenous and could be gifted an entire planet from the Most High. They wish that they could excel at music and the arts. They wish that they could be scholars like black people. They wish that they were as intelligent as black people. They wish that they could even cook like black people. They even wish that they could look as cool as black people do in their cars, which explains why they have the windows rolled down at all fucking times. And the real big one, they really wish that they could age as gracefully.
I love that he clocked his people's tea. I love to see white people that are actually honest. I really do. And I always tell y'all that love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love you so much that they start to hate you. All that superiority, it's really inferiority in reverse. Why? If you are so tired of people, because now they're trying to co-opt and colonize black fatigue, right? If you're so tired of people, why are you always in our comment sections? Why are you always watching everything that we're doing? If I don't like somebody and I'm afraid for my life, I'm not going to walk up to them and try to engage with them in any type of way. I'm going to walk the other way. It's not fair. It's not fatigue. It's obsession. It's admiration. It's love. It's jealousy, envy. For those who actually operate that way. And then when you look in the comment sections, there was some white people saying this is true. This is facts. Facts on facts on facts. I mean, why do you think movies like Get Out was created? Get Out. Y'all remember Get Out? Ciao. Anyways, spread love is the Brooklyn way. What y'all think? Do y'all agree with what this Caucasian man had to say? The truth shall be revealed. Ooh, and this is why they're trying to destiny swap so bad. Because they literally want to be us. They want to be the ones that was oppressed. They want to be the ones that's experiencing racism. They want to be the ones that, is on the opposite side of history. But we know who they are. We know the truth. Anyways, bye.
I don't know if it's just me, but there's hella black people in the World Cup this year. Like, we've always made the joke that the France national team is all black. But I'm looking at all these other teams, and half of these teams are all black as well. Whether it be obviously black teams like the African teams like Congo and Senegal, but I'm also looking at Canada, half of them are black. Looking at Switzerland, all of them are black. Look at the U.S. top scorer right now, Balogun. You think his name is Balogun? That's Balogun. As a Nigerian man, Germany has hella black players, from Leroy Sané to Musiala to Rudiger. The first scorer of the World Cup from Mexico was a black Mexican. England, black. Netherlands, black. Look at Sweden's striker, Isak. That is an Ethiopian man. I know a lot of it is due to immigration or colonialism and multiple different reasons, but I just find it pretty interesting because people are so quick to discredit black people in every other way, never want us to be in any positions of power, never want us to do anything great. But the second we're doing good representing the country, all of a sudden it's, oh my gosh, go them.
So go back to your country. Europe is for Europeans until it's time to play some motherfucking soccer, huh? I thought y'all didn't like multiculturalism. I thought y'all didn't like too many darker ethnicities really getting up into the pot. You know, y'all wanted strong borders until it's time to get on that field and play some fucking ball. Then there's Africans all up and down them lineups everywhere you go. This reality is just further proof that the Western world as we know it is built on the commodification and strategic deployment of black bodies. And the legacies of the transatlantic slave trade and colonization has left this tension of dehumanizing black people while also demanding their labor, their skill, to keep the different gears of society running, be it from culture to literal economics of working labor. And soccer falls neatly within this paradigm of we can use the black body for our advantage, but we will still do very little to support or care for or affirm the humanity of those same black bodies. Because nationality is politically constructed and socially understood, you will have the same players that everyone's cheering on when they're winning, have the same people try to revoke citizen status or a right to claim a nation because they lost. National heroes when you win, racial slurs when you lose. But I will say on the other hand that soccer, the World Cup, what it's supposed to be, this idea of like this sport that's very low barrier to entry, all you need is a ball, pick up and play. You could do that anywhere you are across the world. Regardless of nationality, ethnicity, race, you can play soccer with everyone. And through sports, we can see and recognize one another's shared humanities as we work towards a common goal. Borders are fake anyway, but I guess what I'm saying is just remember who y'all called when the World Cup came knocking.
A lot of people are shocked that a black man was the first one to score for the Mexican team during the FIFA World Cup opening game. But did you know that Mexico has a huge Afro-Mexican population? Even though it sounds like a little bit because it's only 2% of the population. 2 million people identify as Afro-Mexican in Mexico. And that doesn't include the people that have African ancestry like myself who are mixed with African, European, and Native American. That 2% of the population are those who have slight to none mixed with European or Native American. And one of the biggest misunderstandings is that a lot of people tend to think that there's a population of Afro-Mexicans in Mexico because of the enslaved Africans that fled to the south from the United States. And if you've been following me for a while, I'd like to speak up on the transatlantic slave trade that happened between 1500 to 1800. A lot of people think that the transatlantic slave trade was only in the United States, which is what we were taught in school. But the transatlantic slave trade actually happened in Mexico. And Mexico, when it was Nueva España, had the third highest population of enslaved Africans in the world. Brazil and the Caribbean being the top two. Now, we have a lot of racists that are trying to not claim Quiñones, who is the soccer player who scored for Mexico on the opening game. And that's because he was born in Colombia and became a Mexican national. But in Mexico, we have a saying, El Mexicano nace donde quiere. That means that the Mexican is born wherever he feels like it. Quiñones chose to play for the Mexican national soccer team, and he refused to play for the Colombian national soccer team when he was invited twice. And that's because he says that Mexico showed him the most love and appreciation. And I can't stress this enough. Mexicans in the United States, a lot of them are completely different to what Mexicans in Mexico are. If you are a black person, travel to Mexico. You are going to experience a huge amount of love. I cannot stress this enough. Mexicans in the United States have this systemic racism that was implemented to them by the oppressor, and I speak about this all the time on my social media. So if you haven't followed me yet and you haven't watched my videos, make sure you scroll down and look for all my Afro-Mexican history videos and how the Afro-Mexican history also intertwines with Black American history. Let me know if you knew this and let me know what you think in the comments below.
Go back to where you came from.
If you're watching this World Cup, there's one thing that we're all seeing. There's black people everywhere. The France versus Senegal game, it looked like Africa versus Africa. Everybody was black. The guy that scored the first goal for Mexico, blacker than me. The goalkeeper for Japan, we'll call him DeAndre Suzuki, black. Norway, Ecuador, black people on both teams. There are black people everywhere.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Judex Joris. It is always an important time in human life to just appreciate what God has given you, because we all know that not everyone is endowed with all these skills that black people have. Yes, there is something about black people that majority of folks don't always want to, accept or confess. Black people are blessed. And that's the truth of the matter. Black people are blessed. And this is seen in different aspects. This is seen, and this is, as time goes by, this is getting exposed. And people are getting to know the truth. Black community, the entire Africa fraternity. I mean, I was watching the game of Cape Verde and Argentina. I do like Argentina as a team, but what Cape Verde did, that was really black excellence. That was really black excellence. You saw the game that those people brought into the field. And I'm sure even majority of Argentinians, the Hispanics who are in the Argentinian community, they know very well. They know very well that this time round, they made their match. In as much as Cape Verde didn't win. But that was a big portrayal of black excellence, brothers and sisters. As I said, I'm a supporter of Argentina. I support Argentina in World Cup. But yo, brothers and sisters, what Cape Verde bought, I was really proud of my black brothers and sisters. Really proud of them. Really proud of them. They bought fire. Argentina felt this was a worthy competitor. Now, while I was watching the video, I noticed that people were saying something in regards to, this video. So, somebody said that the only thing I can say is 2026 is the year that the truth is coming out and people are waking up. God bless for everyone. God blessings for everyone. Somebody said that the black Mexican scorer player is born and raised in Colombia. The Colombian national team didn't pick him, and since he was playing in Mexican league already, he decided to become a citizen. That's true. This is not, and I think we were discussing this with a friend of mine when he was saying that this player has never been told to play. I think he is the one who scored for the Argentina, right? The previous game before the last week one. He's been on the bench most of the time. But they only gave him one chance. One chance. And what he did changed the perspective of how they think about this black Mexican player. What does that tell you? It tells you that there is black excellence. Black excellence keeps on showing itself. It keeps on popping up. That's black excellence for you. Many times, that is black excellence, right? Somebody said that my people stop calling yourselves black, as they have named you blacks, because nobody is white nor black in the Lord's face. We are melanin, Nubian. We are yes own people. Yep. Because everyone is made in God's image and likeness. But at the end of the day, this is what is really happening. So somebody say that looks like what happened in the dark is coming to the light. Narcissistic lies, gaslighting, manipulation time to be accountable for your transgressions. It is truly a blessing to see the tables turn. The heads will become the tail, and the tail will become the heads, and vice versa, and vice versa, and vice versa. Somebody say that as a black Haitian, I want to say that African Americans, thank you for having the way for us other blacks. Thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for all those much. Your hard works did not go in vain, and that's the truth. Somebody also said that this was a black world. At first, they thought that they could have a live black world. When we have been here for hundreds and thousands of years, they came from Caucasus Mountains and had invaded the continents from 3,000 to 6,000 years ago. Why are they insecure? They've only lied and taken credit for black cultural creations. They never built none. They never built a culture. Right. Donc votre part d'excellence est incommement dans des activités, des diversions, les sports et les showbiz ne cessent pas. I think that's Spanish. I won't read it for some reasons. Somebody said that as an American, I've been to 27 countries and 21 states here in the US. There is nowhere where I've been where black people are not present. We are the world majority. I honestly, truly believe that since white issues out the statistics and they often lie about our numbers here in the US, just like they lie about history, culture, and maps. Right. Somebody also said that I was informed as a child that majority of people on the planet were of color. I never thought whites were in any way, shape, or form the majority. I learned at least 2/3 of the world's people were non-white, and only 1/3 were white. With all the racial mixing that has occurred, it could have been less than that. I've always felt that one of the driving forces behind white supremacy was due to this fact. Whites are afraid of losing power and status. They are afraid of appearing weak as a minority in a world where the majority might turn on them. Right. Somebody also came and said that when they use the term minority, where you live, they are not referring to the world, but to the population of black people in a country which is roughly in the population of Lagos State or Kano State in Nigeria. Other variables need to be taken into consideration in regards to the loom or skin color of those play a particular sport. Factors like awareness of the sport, the love of the sport, physical ability, opportunities, etc. are to be taken into consideration. One should remember that part of the rugby that is popular in South Africa and athletics, in bracket long distance running in particular, in East Africa, the rest of the continent plays football. Football that you play with your foot, as the name implies. And they are die-hard fans of sports where they are, and this trend to rub on their children no matter where the children are born. So please let me know what you'll think about this video. Right, as you know, I'm your host and presenter, Eugene Dr. Stories. But until then, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. For those who are watching me for the first time and have never subscribed to my channel, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. Until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.